Listen, YouTube, what's going on? Big news. Street Fighter 6 has officially had a complete and actual trailer, not a 30-second teaser featuring mostly Ryu's feet and Luke's grotesque forearms. We have an actual complete trailer featuring gameplay, maybe game modes we're hinting at. And listen, I'm surprised by this. I was not expecting it at all. This is all last minute for me. So we're doing this raw. We're going in raw here to watch the gameplay. We're going to do a brief breakdown of what we see here. We will be doing much more in-depth analysis of not only this trailer, but subsequent footage that has been released today at the PlayStation State of Play for Street Fighter 6. So be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're interested in anything Street Fighter 6 related. Why should you care about what I have to say? I am a professional Street Fighter player. I've been playing the genre for 10 plus years at this point. I know a thing or two about Street Fighter, and I'm very excited to share this trailer with you today. So let's go ahead and get on into it. Metro City in the flesh. Now, I believe this is like the same. This reminds me a lot of the stage in Metro City at Night in MVC3. Street graffiti font. They're flexing that pretty hard in the original teaser.
It's not like a game. This journey doesn't have a real ending.
Let's go, Luke.
Okay then, hope you're ready to begin. If you want to start off on the right foot in this city, hit the streets.
Yeah, hey, there I do this. Never feel loose.
I don't know what that font said. I'm gonna be honest. Abigail Stage, Hager.
And if you think I'm going forward, then you talking fool. Yeah, y'all wanna win, let me spin, boy. I'm super fly like I'm
Open world? At least not an open world, but a hub world and overworld with generic fighter. That's not Luke. That's definitely not Luke. We'll go back and look at that, but that was not Luke. Chun-Li. They always want to flex the detail on Ryu's feet. Bonk. New character here. Now this scene makes me wonder if they're hinting at a 2v2 mode. At least in story. Okay. Now this looks like the actual gameplay. I gotta admit, it's gonna take some getting used to. The effects look great. Chun-Li's legs look a little strange when they're doing the lightning thing. The ink effect is actually sick. I feel like they're finally coming to the culmination of the ink tracking effect that they've been using since Street Fighter 4. Cinematic CAs. Yeah, this looks like everyone's different CA. Battle Hub, Fighting Ground. Let's go. Improvement over the previous logo. I guess it's kind of based on the original one. All right, and a whole Battle Hub. Look at that. And that is not Luke. The logo is definitely a step up. I mean, it's based on the one they showed previously with the teaser, coming 2023. All right, let's take a brief look at some of the details that we might have missed. Now, we're not going to go too in-depth on anything in this video, but here's the first thing I thought was very interesting when looking through this. Okay, so they start showing the different stages. So first of all, they got Abigail's stage here. Avocado burgers. Godspeed roasters. There's going to be so many references put in here. These stages seem very, very detailed. Mike Hager, Metro City Revitalization Memorial. Go Hager. Subway. Hold on, we gotta take a look at Metro City. It's all about the fight. Doesn't that look like that? Who's that guy from King of Fighters? There's Hugo. Hakan's oil. Wow, they're getting really detailed with this. Okay, very interesting. I can't wait to see all the references they put in here. So first things first, they have an actual overworld with free roaming gameplay. It's clear to me that they're actually trying to do something different with the Street Fighter franchise. And this is one of the biggest things that I talked about in my videos where I discussed what Street Fighter 6 needs to do in order to succeed. They needed to commit to the model was the main point I stressed. For years, Street Fighter has been struggling to grow out of its arcade roots, right? So Street Fighter 4, I feel like was just the perfect storm where everything came together and everyone was hyped for a new Street Fighter game. But really, it didn't do much revolutionary in the terms of an actual product, right? It was arcade mode with some cinematics, and then it was online gameplay and local gameplay and training mode, right? It really didn't do too much that you could say was revolutionary in the genre or really pushing it outside of its arcade roots. Street Fighter 5 kind of did the same thing, right? It felt like they were going for like an online competitive seasonal sort of a payment system and game system, like a seasonal content where they constantly push DLC, wanting to keep you involved in the game in a competitive sense. However, single player wise, it was severely lacking. It released with no arcade mode. It was very bare bones upon release. And they finally added arcade mode later on with Arcade Edition, and also they added a cinematic story mode, but it was really just still the same. It was cutscenes with the same 2D gameplay with, slightly different health values and gimmicks and stuff like that, right? They're finally going the actual like Mortal Kombat route, it looks like, and having an actual overworld, and you can do things while running around. I mean, even Tekken had this since like Tekken 3. They had certain modes like this where you can actually do things outside of the 2D scrolling gameplay, which I think is huge because you have to do one or the other. Either you have to commit to having great online netcode and focus solely on competitive online multiplayer gameplay and make the game free to play, which I don't think Capcom was ever going to do, or you have to make an actual complete product, an actual complete single player game which satisfies the needs of casuals and makes it feel like they're actually getting their money's worth out of $60. When casuals purchase a game for $60, they're not going to be like, wow, I purchased such a great fighting game gameplay. The gameplay is there's so much depth in this gameplay, and I can't wait to spend hours and hours in training mode optimizing my combos and learning matchups. That's not what people pay money for. So they had to commit to doing one or the other, and they're finally committing to making an actual game, a full-fledged, complete title where you have content in the game, which I think was huge. So that's the biggest thing to take away from this trailer, is that it's a full game. The next thing to take away from this trailer, this is not Luke. So this is what they're hinting at, is it's Luke, but I'm pretty sure Luke is Caucasian, and I don't think this man is. All right, so I don't know who this character is. You can tell by the fingers and the face. We don't know who it is. It might be a custom fighter. It might just be, create a character. I mean, like, this look is extremely generic. Just hoodie, basic gloves, basic sweatpants, right? I mean, it's done on purpose to not have any kind of, unique markings on the character, because it's not meant to be a unique character. This might just be like a default template character for create a character, right? So there might be an actual mode where you can create a character and use them in story mode, and you just play the game and maybe get attributes, maybe level up, maybe learn moves from different NPCs. I'm completely speculating at this point, but that's kind of the idea I'm getting at, is that they're trying to do single player content. Now, getting on to the actual characters, they definitely looked aged up a little bit, because this is supposed to take place after Street Fighter V, I believe, which is later in the story, if people care about that. I don't really care about that. That's not my kind of thing. I'm a gameplay guy. I play the game competitively. But I think the graphics look pretty sick. In motion, around when they actually showed the actual gameplay... Oh, by the way, Jamie looks cool. The Drunken Master guy, even though he looks young as hell. I think he looks cool. I like the Drunken Master characters. Some of this looks a little funky. So this was my concern when they started showing the more realistic art style, kind of more Tekken-like than what you would expect from Street Fighter. A little bit of it looks a little chunky. I think Luke looks pretty refined. Chun-Li, she looks like she's made out of Play-Doh or something. Something's going on here when she's moving around. And, like, something just doesn't look quite right with Chun-Li. Okay, so, like, first of all, like, this is what I noticed. This just doesn't look something just doesn't look totally right about her proportions. I mean, you know, they're doing the Chun-Li thing with the legs, but in action it looks a little like Play-Doh. Something about it doesn't look quite right. But anyways, I think it can be refined. I think it's a good base. Hopefully, you know, it's a combination of just not being used to the way it looks in motion because it's brand new. It's a little jarring, but I think they have time to clean it up as well. So it looks like they have interesting mechanics and counters and parries. But yeah, it looks like Street Fighter is going in a new direction. They're really committing to the sort of like hip-hop aesthetic, fighting in the streets, kind of actual street fighting, focusing on Luke, it looks like, as the cocky young upstart. And then here we go, the Battle Hub, Game Center Extreme Battle Hub. So maybe this is going to be, you can see the arcade machines in the background. I don't know if there's going to be other modes in here, if this is going to be the lobby system, like you're going to pair up on these arcade cabs here and fight people, but it looks cool. It looks cool. Now, Street Fighter, I feel like Street Fighter V's lobby system was perfectly functional. And in fact, usually the ArcSys games that use these kind of lobbies are actually much worse. Usually the visual UIs look cute, but actually queuing up on arcade cabs and when you control an avatar running around actually doesn't work that well in practice. But all in all, this is giving me confidence that they're trying to build a robust and engaging product for the consumer. So I'm actually really excited about the direction this is going in. I have my reservations about the art style, and I want to see more of the gameplay and how it flows in motion to make sure that it's actually going to be something that is, you know, competitively sound and has depth for competition and is actually a good fighting game. But as a product, I'm seriously impressed with this direction that Capcom has gone in. And this actually answers a lot of the questions I proposed to Capcom. Like, will they rise to the challenge here and actually make a product at launch that consumers can be confident with their purchase and not feel ripped off? Because Street Fighter V at launch was a disaster. I thought the gameplay was okay at launch, but as a product, it was horrible. I think Street Fighter V today is a great game and a great product, but you can never recover from those first impressions. This is a good first impression. So hats off to Capcom for this one. I'm really excited to see what comes next. And guys, if you enjoyed this reaction, we're going to be doing more breakdowns like this on the channel. There's more footage to go through, so please subscribe to the channel if you're interested in anything Street Fighter 6, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.